set, hit. All right? So again, you'll have enough time to do it right, but not enough time to think about it all the way. All right, please. Couple things to finish off the first night here with the forearm. You should understand, I just told one of the young men over there, you can't accomplish anything by trying to spin into the man you're blocking. All right? A forearm delivery, you should understand, is not like throwing a punch. It's a lifting motion. All right? And I say lifting because we all on the sport of football are governed by leverage. Very simply put, leverage is if you're lower than the man you're trying to block, you'll win the battle. That will probably be the most important thing. The height of your block and the quickness of the foot movement are the most important things in moving a defensive player, regardless how much bigger or how much smaller he is than you. Right? So if you think about the form as being a lifting motion, you have to get underneath the guy before you can lift him. But it is a lift. When you throw that thing, it is a lifting motion. Okay? So think of it that way when we drill this thing on the back. All right, body position and height to block. We're going to get you on your feet. Now we got to get, like I said, you know, feet are some of the most, or one of the two most important things in keeping movement with a defensive lane. So I want to do a drill. We call it a quick foot drill. And I'm going to set your body up on me. And I'm going to support you so that I can get the look that I want. So you begin to get a feel for what your body should feel like and a mental picture of what your body should look like when you're blocking a defensive player. All right? Come on up here, Greg. All right, just stand this way. All right? Now, what I'd like you to do is a defensive player's belt buckle is your landmark. That's where you're trying to throw your surface. So if I give you an assignment to block with your right shoulder, you're trying to hit him in the belt buckle with your chest. All right? So you're going to be about 24 inches to 20 inches off the ground is all. You're going to be lower than him to win the battle. All right? So what I want you to do is form the surface I just gave you, and I want you to flex your hips and knees and fit into my belt buckle. And I'll support you like this. All right? You put your ear right on my bicep. All right? Get that face up, look into my eyes. I'm the guy you're blocking. Squeeze with it. Okay? Now, what I want to do to get you understand from this position that his hips are in a position where he's asking his legs to do two things. So he won't block you because your legs can't do two things. Right now, you just freeze right there. If I step away, his legs are supporting his own weight, correct? Right. Can't happen if you're going to be an offensive line. Now, the other thing is, he's got to support his own weight, and he's going to try to do what to me? He's going to try to move me. There's no way do those two things meet. They never come together. They'll never be successful in sport of football as an offensive lineman. You have to extend your hips so that you get your body in a straight line. Your legs will work if you extend your hips, and your hips are between your shoulders and the heels of your feet or your feet. So for this drill, we sink in there. Now you just keep your feet still. I'm going to hold you up. You're not going to fall. You squeeze, and I'm going to back up and stretch you out. Now I said don't move your feet. All right, now drop your hips. Don't move that foot. Get up now. Put your right foot back. Right, don't move your feet. Right? Stretch you out. I hope you don't trust me. Huh? Squeeze with that cheekbone. Now bring your feet up on. Put your left foot underneath you. Right in there. Now drop your hips here. Now, right? You keep wanting to move your feet. Now, we've got a fairly decent line, straight line, from shoulders through the hip joint to the heels of the feet. Now, if I could freeze him and I stepped out of there, what do you think would happen to him? So now he's in a position where his legs aren't asked to support his body weight. All he's going to ask his legs to do is move me. Now you got a chance to win that battle, right? And with good head position, squeezing, legal holding, squeezing in there, this will keep him on the block. He doesn't need his legs to support his weight. He's pinching me. My body's supporting his weight. You want to be heavy on a defensive play. Now you want to take short, quick, choppy steps. It's the number of steps you get back into the ground that will move a defensive player as opposed to the size and power of the step. Steps, right? The bigger step you take, the longer the foot stays in the air. You guys don't understand, the only way you can move through space is to do what? Is to push off the balls of your feet. If you're running or driving your feet, right? So your feet have to get where? They got to get back in the buckwheat, fellas, all right? You can't push with your foot up in the air, all right? You have no resistance. But big steps, that's all that happens. Come up here again. Get that position again, all right? You're going to walk your back. Don't move. See, trust me now. I got him right where I want him, all right? There. Drop your hips a little. Right now, come on up a little bit, right there. All right, now, all right, try to take a big step with that left foot. Right? See how long it stays in the air? Just hung right up there. It's frozen in the air. And what happened? What did he have to do to get it back in the grass? He went to take a big step, and to get it back in the grass, he had to go where? And so it ended up being how big of a step? And it ends up being 6 inches, but he wasted all this time trying to take a 2-footer that came back and ended up being 6 inches. So what I'm telling you guys is don't waste the time. Make it 6 inches now, because that's all that's going to work. All right? So here's the way we finish this drill off. We'll get to here as partners. I'll stretch him out. Drop your hips. When I say set, go, I'll resist you, and you drive me with short, quick, choppy steps. Ready? Set, go. Good, all right? So what I want to do is you go right back to your dummies and the coaches that you're working with. Go. Still your hands are, all right? That the big difference is that if you throw all of your body at a defensive player, and you're 2 foot off the ground when you do that, and when you sink in with your proper cheek and shoulder position, now you can create a lot more force on this man than you could if you're just trying to punch him, because using your hands forces you to be a little bit higher, right? So as you look at what you're doing, right, what we do is we try to put you in a position where you can sustain the block as long as possible, right? If you compare shoulder skill to hands, you will be able to sustain a block longer with your hands, because when you watch the NFL, those guys just reach in there and grab. And they let one great running back go find a hole someplace. Well, understand, our system's not like that. We're telling the running back, say, look, our blocking scheme's going to give you a hole right here. So we're going to use our shoulders and our bodies, and we're going to throw our body at people, and we're going to create that hole right here. All right? So we have to move people. We don't just try to get into them and skate them around or let them run where they want to run and help them do it faster like you do when you're hand blocking. We're going to get our shoulder in there, and we're going to say, hey, right here's where it is. So that, understand, coming off the ball with your height at the belt buckle, that's the first thing. Remember what I said? Leverage, all right? Height of block. You're lower than him, you win, all right? Now, get no speed involved. Taking big steps doesn't cut it, right? Short, fast, 6-inch steps. Getting them back in the ground as fast as you can, because you now know, or you knew before, if I didn't accentuate it to you, that when your foot's in the air, it can't push anything, all right? It can't propel you. You got to get them back in the grass as fast as you can. Remember, big steps always come back to be little steps. They just take longer to get there, so don't even try to do it, all right? And then the biggest thing, which is always the hardest thing to get you guys to understand, is this legal holding deal, right? If you can understand that your face should be to the sky, you're trying to see the man that you're blocking, you're trying to stare him right in the eye, all right? Your face is here, and it's squeezing, you're pinching him between your shoulder and your cheekbone. Bang, because that's what allows you to sustain this type of technique longer than anything. If everything in this technique is perfect and your face is down, all it's going to be is you're going to go at the ball and have a good collision, and you'll never move a man because you can't sustain the block. Because the angles of your body will be going down into the ground instead of through and up into the face. All right, those are important things to understand, and we'll drive them home between now and Monday. All right? Okay. Back up 5 yards and take a knee.
Everybody back up and kind of spread out.
Right? In order for the quarterback to fit properly, we can't have a staggered stance. We want a square stance, right? In the balls of the feet. But understand that you only want to be as wide as you have to be to make it work, right? Because if you get way out here, as I said, the wider your feet get, the more stable you become, right? In terms of stable as opposed to mobile, that's not good. So you need to be wide enough to be able to snap the ball, get the ball between your legs, and at the same time you want your feet close enough so that you can take your first step of your technique without being overextended. Right? So you can be an athlete, you can be a good football player. So that I want you to put say the ball is on the white line, so you back up just a little bit. So your feet are balanced, that's good. You bend over at the waist, and you can go ahead and use the ball to support your weight. That's right, that's fine. Now, with this system, it is to our advantage to be off the ball as legal as the rules allow us to be. That means the top of our helmets have to break the center's weight to defend. So my guards, the top of their head has to be on the waist of the center. Now, here's what we're going to do.